What's going on today, my MSF addicts? It's your boy Ken, and today I have what I think it's a juicy one. If you guys love to blitz, this one is for you. My top 5 tips on how you can improve your blitz results. Blitzing is one of probably the most demanding aspects of this game when it comes to how often you have to blitz. Not many people actually blitz in this game for that particular reason, but if you are one of those like me that have to unlock characters this way, that enjoy actually the grind of unlocking characters this way, and you want to improve on those results, this one's for you. Let's start with number 1. Okay, and at number 1, utilize your entire roster. No matter where you are in the game, no matter what you've done with your teams, no matter who is the top of your roster, you're going to want to develop every single toon that you have in your roster, even if it is to a minimal point. So if you're satisfied with taking, of course, characters that are not maybe essential in this game, it does not take a lot of gold to take characters either to like level 25, level 30, even like geared tier 5, whatever the case may be. Just strong enough, if anything, so that they can actually get a little bit more points, right? You want to improve on your blitz scores, you're going to need some points. And more than anything, to improve on the tiers early on. So, going through tier 1, going through tier 2 is going to be very easy for you to do. You don't really need a strong team in the game to really get through it. So I'll show you guys what I mean by that. The bottom of my roster is pretty much all the misfits, the characters that I'm not really using right now in the game. And at this point, you're going to see that my roster really starts developing as we start getting to the top of it. So I like to always use my entire roster when I'm blitzing. You're going to want to at least give them a shot to escalate. Once you're at 8.3, there's going to be some teams that are not, sure to win teams, and it's okay. It's just about getting to the sure to win part of the blitzing. So that is my tip number 1. All right, and at number 2, I have for you guys, managing your blitz charges. As you guys know, most new characters come out for blitz on a Thursday night. You will need to make sure that before the blitz, you are fully charged when it comes to the blitz charges. So you should be at 500 out of 500. You want to make sure that you get as many full rotations early on. As soon as the server reset happens and you're getting your blitz rotation in, you want to make sure that you start from the bottom right of your roster and make your way up to the roster. And as you're building those tiers, if you manage to get to 8, if you don't do it on your first rotation, you might get to it on your second rotation of the day. And then at 8 to 8.3, that is when you want to use your sure to win teams multiple times. So that's where the blitz charges are going to be used. When you are depleted on blitz charges, the next step for you to do is go into your challenges. So you get actually more blitz charges on your medical supply run on Thursdays, depending on where you're at, what tier level you are in medical supply run. You can get as low as 20 blitz charges and as high as 90 blitz charges that you can claim 3 times, right? And then in addition to that, on your daily login calendar, if you are doing the Villains campaign progress, you gain an extra 100 blitz charges. So those are things that you should not be claiming until you are, like I said, either finished with your first full rotation and you decided to use some blitz charges for that, or if you are 2 full rotations into blitzing on your first day and you have depleted some of your blitz charges. Whatever you do, don't claim this and don't claim your daily challenge until you have actually done your 2 blitz rotations. So that's my tip at number 2, manage your blitz charges. Okay, and tip number 3, it's as easy as blitzing through the tiers. What do I mean by that? You're gonna wanna use the bottom portion of your roster first rotation on your first day that you're doing your blitzing. This is why I said it's important for you to build your roster. You're gonna want to start from the bottom of your roster, and you're gonna be able to win some of those battles through the easier tiers. But as you start going through this first full rotation, you might end up either around tier 6, tier 7, etc. You're gonna want to start then on your second full rotation. You're gonna want to start from the top of your roster and then blitz your way down. The reason for that is, once you win a battle with your top tier, with your top teams, and you start going down, the fights become a little bit more challenging. So you're gonna have to be selective, right? You're gonna have to be selective as to the teams that you're going up against. Matchmaking is gonna be important here on this one, and you're gonna want to continue to blitz your way down. This is when it's important, after you start getting to like 8.3, for you to start getting those blitz charges that you were saving. This is the time to use them for teams that actually will win pretty much no matter what. Team Blitz is a sure to win team. Black Order, Marauders. As you can see, some of the top of my roster, it's really high up in Blitz, and most of the teams I am very confident in taking into a battle in Blitz. So once again, tip number 3, it's blitzing your way up. Get yourself to 8.3. Okay, I'm at tip number 4. It's okay to skip. To be honest, sometimes you can do everything right. You have your for sure to win teams, and you're not necessarily comfortable taking on a battle. Case in point, if I don't want to take on this Black Order team and then I just get 3 really unfavorable teams, because you do get to select between these 3 teams, and let's say that you're not feeling comfortable punching up, clearly X-Men might not be the best argument for this, as they can definitely take on this Asgardian team. But if I'm a little bit concerned and I'm not too sure if my team's gonna win, and I want to go ahead and save those charges, because it's all about, you can go into a battle and then you can lose that battle, or you can retreat, but you've lost that energy then for that team, and you don't want to really start digging into your blitz charges. So number one thing is, if you're getting unfavorable matchups, it's okay to scroll down maybe a couple of the teams. At that point, the matchups will change for you. So if you feel like you have something more favorable, like in this one, I probably wouldn't mind taking my Technerva team against this mixed match of characters on the right side. Then I would take on this fight, probably win, and then end up going back to the original team right here with the X-Men, and then go through hopefully more favorable matchups that I can take and win with this team. So you want to do this when you're doing your first rotations. You want to do this every single time so that you can stay on the higher tiers. And initially, on your first rotation, on your second rotation, that's where you're going to be using most of your charges. So that's what I mean by making sure that you value that attack early on, because those blitz charges will start disappearing little by little. 25 every single time you take on a new match. So take advantage of that. Make sure that you're going to be taking on favorable matchups. So once again, tip number 4, it's okay to skip. Okay, and for my last tip of this video, it's actually plug and play. So what do I mean by this? You want to maintain, or you want to really stay at the high tiers of blitzing, whether that's 7 to 8, 8.3, wherever you're feeling more comfortable. It also depends where you are with your roster. So I am very comfortable taking most of my teams that I have as part of my roster in my safe squads to 8, 8.3, and vice versa. But there does come a point where I have more of my weaker teams, or some of my non-synergy teams, like this one in particular, where I want to plug in a character that might end up getting me the win. So bringing in a character, like, might as well call this the Ultron tip. If you can plug in Ultron and make the team pretty much a guaranteed win, it's okay, because you will only end up spending like that five charges you individually get from a particular character. So every time you take a character into a battle, it's gonna be 5 charges individually for that character. So with Ultron, if you're using him at least once a day, if you're doing one rotation at least once a day, and you maybe are doing a rotation with Ultron all the way till he gets to the 25 charges, then stop right there. I think it's worth it, because then now you're getting a lot more wins that you weren't counting on. Maybe you would have stopped taking your rotation in Blitz on aim. Then now that I'm starting to get to the teams that I'm not 100% sure they'll win at 8, 8.3, instead of not doing an actual rotation with these teams, just plugging in a character like Ultron, actually a character like Captain Marvel, if you don't have Ultron yet, can make the difference between you winning or losing at 8 or 8.3. So I highly recommend that you guys, at least once a day when you're doing a rotation, you do take some of these plug and play characters that are really strong, that can be game changers and get you a win per rotation on teams that you wouldn't probably be touching around 8 or 8.3. So once again, that's tip number 5, plug and play. Alright guys, and those were my top 5 tips on how you can maximize your blitz scores. A couple of things I guess I want to mention as well is, don't forget, your damage dealer ideally should be your strongest character within the teams that you're building for blitz. It always helps the battle go your way. And then also, only use your blitz charges on the top of your roster. Those are the ones that are going to guarantee you the best rewards as you're completing blitzes. And then you want to stop at 50. After you hit 50 on your recharges, make sure you move down to the next team. So once again, hopefully you guys found this helpful, and if you did, don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't by now, and I also stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So till the next one, peace.